Picture this. You're driving on a narrow path carved into the side of a mountain. On one side, jagged rocks loom over you like silent giants. On the other, a drop so steep it feels like the earth itself is waiting to swallow you whole. No guardrails, no second chances. Just one wrong move, and you're gone. Some roads aren't meant for the faint-hearted. These are the places where drivers whisper prayers, hands grip the wheels so tightly their knuckles turn white, and every curve could be their last. Today, we're going on a journey across the 10 most dangerous roads in the world. Let's begin. Number 10, the Atlantic Ocean Road, Norway. At first glance, the Atlantic Ocean Road looks like something from a travel magazine. Serene waters, sweeping views, and sleek bridges arcing gracefully across the ocean. It's even been called the world's most beautiful drive. But beauty here is deceiving. The danger begins when the North Atlantic storms roll in. Waves as high as houses smash against the bridges, spraying over cars and making the road slippery like glass. Winds howl so violently that drivers sometimes feel their vehicles lift, as if the ocean itself is trying to pull them in. Imagine driving here at night, when the road is soaked, and a wave suddenly crashes over your windshield, blinding you for a second. Just 1 second too long. The car veers, the tires skid, and there's nothing but icy black water waiting below. Locals know the risk. Fishermen and delivery drivers who use this road regularly talk about times when they thought the sea would swallow their cars whole. Yet, tourists flock here for the thrill. Some come back with incredible photos, others never come back at all. Number 9, the Zojila Pass, India. High in the Himalayas lies a road that looks less like a modern highway and more like a dirt trail scratched into the side of a cliff. This is Zojila Pass, sitting at nearly 11,500 feet above sea level. Here, the thin mountain air makes engines struggle, brakes burn, and drivers gasp for breath. But the real terror isn't the altitude, it's the road itself. A single-lane dirt track, constantly battered by landslides, avalanches, and blizzards. Picture trucks packed with goods, wobbling along the edge while goats and herdsmen push through the same path. There are no guardrails, just the abyss yawning on one side. In winter, walls of snow rise higher than buses. If a vehicle stalls, the driver doesn't just risk frostbite, they risk being buried alive. For locals, Zojila isn't optional. It's a lifeline connecting Kashmir to Ladakh. But for outsiders, even the thought of driving here sends shivers down the spine. At number 8 is the Guoyang Tunnel Road, China. Carved by hand through solid rock, the Guoyang Tunnel Road looks like something out of a nightmare. In the 1970s, villagers who were cut off from the outside world decided to create their own passage. With hammers and chisels, they hacked through a mountainside, forming a tunnel wide enough for cars. The result? A dimly lit road with windows cut into the cliff, where you can look straight down into the valley below. The walls are jagged, the turns blind, and the surface uneven. There's barely space for 2 cars to pass. One mistake, and you're scraping against rock on one side and tumbling into nothingness on the other. During heavy rains, water drips into the tunnel, turning the floor into a slick trap. At night, the darkness is suffocating. Locals say even headlights don't help much. It feels like driving inside the throat of a monster. Tourists come here for the thrill, snapping photos through the tunnel's windows. But ask anyone who's driven it. Fear has a way of drowning out the view. Number 7. The James Dalton Highway, Alaska, USA. This isn't just a road, it's a survival test. The James Dalton Highway runs 414 miles through Alaska's frozen wilderness, and there's almost nothing out there. No gas stations for hundreds of miles, no towns, no cell service. Just icy winds, endless snow, and the occasional polar bear. Truckers call it the loneliest road in America, and for good reason. The asphalt turns to gravel, the gravel to ice, and every stretch feels like it's waiting to trap you. Vehicles slide across black ice, tires burst on sharp stones, and when blizzards hit, visibility drops to 0. Break down here, and it's not just inconvenient, it's deadly. Rescue might take hours, even days, in temperatures that can freeze skin in minutes. Drivers carry survival gear because out here, you don't just drive, you fight to stay alive. And yet, this road is crucial. It connects oil fields to the rest of Alaska. Truckers risk it daily, their headlights cutting through a land where silence itself feels like a predator. Next is the Skipper's Canyon Road, New Zealand. In New Zealand, adventure is part of daily life. But the Skipper's Canyon Road takes adventure to a level most drivers never want to experience. This road twists and turns through the mountains near Queenstown, with stretches so narrow that two cars can't pass each other. If you meet another vehicle, someone has to reverse, sometimes for terrifying distances, while the cliff edge waits like an open mouth. Built during the gold rush of the 1800s, this road was literally blasted out of rock with dynamite. And it shows. The edges crumble, the ground shifts, and dust clouds blind drivers at every corner. Rental car companies in New Zealand don't even allow their vehicles on this road. That alone should tell you how dangerous it is. Yet tourists still try it. Some return shaking, vowing never again. Others admit that the fear is part of what makes the view unforgettable. Because here, beauty and danger aren't separate, they ride side by side. Number 5. The Karakoram Highway, Pakistan, China. Nicknamed the eighth wonder of the world, the Karakoram Highway links Pakistan and China through the rugged mountains of Gilgit-Baltistan. At over 15,000 feet, it's one of the highest paved roads on Earth. But don't let the word paved fool you. This is no ordinary highway. The road is constantly under attack from landslides, earthquakes, and floods. Entire sections vanish overnight, swallowed by mountains or swept away by raging rivers. During monsoon season, rocks rain down without warning, crushing cars like toys. The altitude brings its own horrors. Oxygen is scarce, weather changes in minutes, and snowstorms can trap travelers for days. Imagine being surrounded by mountains so massive they block the sky, knowing you're on a road that wasn't meant to be tamed. Locals call it both a miracle and a curse. It brings trade and tourism, but it also demands lives in return. Every curve is a gamble. Every journey a negotiation with nature itself. Number 4. The Yungas Road, Bolivia, also called Death Road. Few roads carry a name as chilling as this one. El Camino de la Muerte, the Death Road. Stretching from La Paz to Coroico in Bolivia, it's carved into the side of the Andes, with drops as deep as 2,000 feet. The road is just 10 feet wide in many places. That's barely enough for a single vehicle. Yet buses and trucks once used it daily, often meeting each other head-on at terrifying bends. Who would give way? Sometimes neither, and the results were disastrous. Thick fog hides the edges, rain turns the dirt to mud, and waterfalls spill directly onto the road. Drivers push forward knowing that one slip, one distraction, one patch of loose gravel, and their vehicle would vanish into the abyss. At its peak, nearly 300 people died here every year. Crosses still line the cliffs, silent reminders of those who never made it. Today, a new highway takes most of the traffic, but thrill seekers, mostly cyclists, still come here to test their courage. Locals watch them and shake their heads, remembering that on this road, death is never far away. Number 3. The North Yungas Road, Bolivia. Yes, Bolivia appears twice on this list, because danger doesn't stop with just one road. The North Yungas Road connects La Paz to the Amazon rainforest, and while not as famous as the Death Road, it may be even deadlier. Unlike its southern twin, this road is busier with local traffic. Trucks overloaded with goods, buses packed with passengers, and motorbikes all jostle for space. The conditions are brutal: rain, fog, and mudslides that erase parts of the road without warning. Drivers follow a strange rule here. Vehicles going downhill must yield to those coming up. That means buses sometimes reverse toward the edge of a cliff so another vehicle can pass. Imagine sitting inside, hearing the wheels scrape against loose gravel, knowing there's nothing but air behind you. For locals, it's just life. For outsiders, it's a nightmare they'll never forget. At number 2 is the Fairy Meadows Road in Pakistan. Don't let the name fool you. The Fairy Meadows Road sounds magical, but for those who drive it, it's anything but. This road leads to Nanga Parbat, the world's 9th highest mountain, and it's considered one of the scariest drives anywhere. The path is unpaved, barely wide enough for a Jeep, and runs along sheer cliffs with no barriers. It's not just the height, it's the unpredictability. Rocks tumble from above, dust clouds choke visibility, and sudden turns appear out of nowhere. Locals say that even experienced drivers sweat through their shirts by the end. The road eventually leads to breathtaking views of Nanga Parbat. But the price of that beauty is terror every mile of the way. Topping the list is the Bayburt D915 road in Turkey, often called the most dangerous road on Earth. Unlike Bolivia's Death Road, this one has no global fame. Yet locals know its horrors all too well. Stretching through the mountains of the Black Sea region, it features 29 hairpin turns carved into sheer cliffs. No barriers, no safety measures, just sharp bends and 1,000-foot drops. Some sections are so steep that drivers can't see what's ahead until they're already committed. When rain pours, the road turns to mud. In winter, snow buries it completely. Landslides are common, erasing entire stretches in minutes. And yet, people use it daily. Farmers, traders, families, because it's the only connection between remote villages. This isn't a road that forgives mistakes. Even skilled drivers admit they feel powerless here, as if the mountain itself decides who survives and who doesn't. And that's why the Bayburt D915 isn't just a road. It's a reminder that some places in the world were never meant to be tamed by humans. After hearing all this, I believe you'll want to stick to highways with streetlights and guardrails, because dangerous roads like these aren't just routes from one place to another. They're battles against nature, against fear, and sometimes against death itself. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop your comments. We'll like to hear from you.